Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames. In this video, we're going to talk about Liampayne's passing because there are some new reports out. However, also what I'm observing is that they keep retracting these reports, they keep editing them, and it's giving serious suspicions. Let's talk about it because you guys know that we have been covering Liampayne's death for the past couple of days, and some of the things that we have discussed is the fact that sloanbella first indicated, just as we did, sloanbella said, ain't no way someone who's unconscious can actually fall over a building. And after Sloan said that, Sloan looked into it. She did an energetic reading on Liampayne, and in that energetic reading, she said that Liampayne died as a result of scopolamine. So it was blown in his face. He was set up by being told to stay at the hotel because he was supposed to go into a new contractual agreement as it relates to his music. We know that his record label has dropped him, but he was about to sign a new deal, and as such, he was waiting at that hotel for someone. Now, Sloan also told us that immediately after his passing, within 50 seconds, she said there was at least 4 to 5 people in that room, and they took photos. After they took him out, they took photos, and those photographs were handed to TMZ. Now, this is not the first time Sloan has mentioned TMZ, because prior to that, in her life, she said that media outlet, who is always the first to report on these celebrity passing, that media outlet is also a part of it. Now, she didn't directly say TMZ, so let me reiterate. She did not directly say TMZ, but based on all indications, you know that she was talking about them. And this is allegedly. So we have to, let's put it at that, right? So she's also told us that this is not the last we have heard on Liampayne's death. There's a friend that is going to come out about next year, April, and say something. So I believe we're going to hear a lot. No. As it relates to these reports, guys, are you looking at the reports? The reports are consistently changing. Yesterday, I saw a report out. I think it was from NBC News. And when I saw that report, right, I sent the link to the article, to myself via Instagram DM. And that report has since changed. These media outlets are changing. It's as though someone is, giving them hints, because that is actually what one article said. They said that they were given tip by a tipster, and then the article was basically removed, could not be found. But I remember some of the details in the article. No, they're saying that Liampayne has 25 injuries, right, on his body. No, initially the article was saying some things along the lines of some of the injuries appears as though they're not consistent with someone falling from that height. And then that portion of the article was taken out. So I find that to be really, really suspicious, as though they know that this man was taken out. He seems as though they might have slapped him or hit him with something. I don't know if it's before or after his passing, but he has injuries that are not consistent with someone falling from that height. No, they also moved on to say that, there was a negotiation going on in the lobby with a hotel staff and a cartel, a drug cartel. So basically what they're trying to imply is that that person was doing a negotiation on the behalf of Liampayne. But guys, didn't we go through a report that said the staffer that they basically suspended from work, that staffer took a taxi service to do a favor for Liampayne? So they keep changing the reports. It is not as though, both reports are adding up to say, on Thursday, October, whatever date, this is what happened. And then another date, this is what happened. It's as though they're consistently changing the story to see what makes sense and what would stick. When you write something and you realize that, oh, this is not making any sense, then they go back to change it. I don't know. I think it's extremely weird. And I do, see what Sloan is saying now. It's not going to make sense to a lot of us, and it's really not making any sense. There is a whistleblower somewhere. Someone who knows what happened is talking to the media, but I believe that these media outlets are also being tactful with the information that they release. No. Let's talk about the injuries, right? Because they said that, 50 injuries were discovered on Liam Payne's body. And now they're saying that, he had a fractured bones, fractured skull, and all of that. No, also they are revealing that Liam Payne's Rolex is missing. And they want to pass it off as, he might have used it, to get himself, substance. But that is not making any sense, because people do have, addiction problems, but not everyone who is an addict sell their valuables to soothe their, addiction. And he has had that Rolex for quite some time. The Rolex was on his wrist all along, but the moment that his body was discovered on the ground, the Rolex was all of a sudden missing. So what that means to us, not the report, because they're not going to tell us, what that is to us is that the very same people who took him out, remember Sloan said it was either 4 to 5 people in that room. One of them stole his Rolex. He was robbed also. So they had, injured him, maybe slapped him, punched him, after they blew that dust in his face, or maybe they punched him before they blew the scopolamine in his face. Maybe he tried to, make a run for it. And when he tried to do so, as Sloan said, they brought him back to what he was running from. So they definitely, beat him up before blowing that scopolamine in his face. And then they left him to his demise, because he was already dead when that scopolamine was, blown in his face. And I believe they shoved him over the balcony. And Sloan told us that, when he fell, he was long already dead. So they definitely shoved him. And then they're also telling us that they have videos of Liam Payne falling from the balcony, which is not going to make sense. And I'm wondering, why is it that they're not releasing the video for us to see? Because they said in that report, if Liam Payne, listen how ridiculous this is. And I did a video on that. You guys can check it out. If Liam Payne was in his room, and at the time that he became unconscious or semi-unconscious, he would have, fell on the bed. But because he was on the balcony, he fell over the balcony. I'm going to include a photograph of the balcony so you guys can see. If he had fainted outside on the balcony, he wouldn't have it over the balcony and fall in the manner that he did. He was literally, if you saw the photograph with Liam Payne on the ground, you could tell that that man was literally thrown over that balcony. He didn't even faint, as they said. He fainted. If he fainted, he would have maybe hit his head somewhere on the balcony and then, fall flat to the ground. There's no way he could go over that railing on that balcony. It's almost impossible, if not impossible, for him to do so. So that there are inconsistencies with what they're telling us. And as such, we know that his father is not going to believe it. His father is definitely not going to believe that. Also, his body's being flown back home for embalming for his final service. We're going to get into that in a next video. But guys, isn't it interesting to see how they're changing this report around Liam Payne consistently? If you do a lineup of reports, even from the same media outlets, you will have so many unanswered questions, because you're going to ask, why is it that you told us that, someone did a drug run for him with a taxi service, because that's what they hinted about. And then you're going to say there was an argument in the lobby with a staffer and what appears to be a cartel or a drug dealer. It's not adding up. They're trying to plant they're trying to make the crime scene look like an look like an accident. Tripping over my words. They're trying to make the crime scene look like an accident when it's clearly not an accident. It was a hit, and it was a direct, intentional hit, exactly as Sloan told us that it was. And they're just trying to cover their asses and cover their tracks. And this is why we can't trust these media outlets. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are very credible and they're not in the mess, but others are very dirty in that sense. But that's all I have to say about that for this video. Let me know what are your thoughts while you're at it. Thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys later. Bye, guys.